But then, okay, so you had this transplant, you had to recover by yourself, and now you almost want to integrate back into real life. So it's going back to work, seeing friends, seeing family, and living life again. What was that like? How did you deal with that?
Well, you know, the biggest thing was
What's up, guys? My name is Craig Yeats. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Craig. We are here on the rooftop of my gym with these incredible views of Cape Town behind us, and we have a returning guest, someone that has been through a tough struggle and he is surviving. He's doing incredibly well, and I wanted to bring him back to share his message with you, because right now that's what everyone needs. They need strength, they need hope, they need inspiration to get through these tough times. Whether they're going through an emotionally tough time, financially tough time, mentally, everyone needs some hope. And this guest, Gordon Stevens, has been through an incredibly tough time, and he's pulling through, and he's doing so well that I wanted to bring him back to share his message with you. So let's go downstairs, let's go into the gym, let's go work out and see from Gordon.
now in terms of form, you've got to keep it where you're thinking of pushing two walls apart. Like that,
like this.
Hold it, and then slowly down. 25 reps.
Whew. So last time we chatted was just before you went and you had your kidney transplant.
Yes.
So I remember you told us a little bit about what you went through, and you had these big veins in your arm from the dialysis.
Yes.
That wasn't an easy thing that you were going into the hospital all the time to do. I see your arms looking much better, because no more kidney dialysis.
Come down a little bit, no more
It's come down, which is amazing. How was the actual kidney transplant?
So it wasn't the easiest thing. It was actually quite hard on the body, but you know, it's a new kidney, basically my mom's kidney being put into my body, so your body has to adapt to that. And week by week, I've just gotten better and better and better. I had to be in isolation for 12 weeks. So this is now week 14. The minute I got out of isolation, I wanted to get back to work. So basically only working half day, just to take it slow. I also picked up something called Guillain-Barré syndrome in my legs.
What is that?
So it's an autoimmune disease where it's basically your nerves that attack your immune system that attacks your nerves.
Sure.
So it started in my toes and then came up my legs.
Was that from the transplant?
I think it was from the dialysis, because my body didn't respond well to dialysis. So it was leading up to the transplant. They actually didn't want to transplant me in the beginning.
Because of that?
Yeah, they changed the date, then there was COVID. So I actually waited an extra 8 months to be able to do the transplant than I would have had to do. But it's something that's getting better day by day. So it's so nice to just be functional again, to work with my clients, so basically to try and inspire people, which is my passion.
Which what your whole purpose in life has become, huh? Which is amazing to see. So I know, following you on social media, it's so great to see out of bed, after your transplant, also seeing how your mom's recovered, which is amazing. So I want to ask you a little bit about your mom, which is great, because for your mom to give up her kidney for you, that's unbelievable.
She's doing so well, and for me, kind of every step that I take now, I think to myself, my mom's actually given this gift to me, because dialysis wasn't great. You're not living when you're going on dialysis every second day. She's given me another lease on life. So she's amazing. She's recovered nicely. And just to have that love of a mother, it's incredible. So she is the hero in my story.
So what exactly happens with a kidney transplant?
So with the transplant, basically they put you under, they do the recipient first. So my mom was a recipient, they did her in the morning.
And what is the risk for your mom? Because obviously any operation's tough, but your mom's giving up a body part and she's going under.
There is a risk, there's always a risk, but the surgeon that we had is very well known. And my mom was taking a risk to basically help me.
To help you.
There's not really much of a risk in only having one kidney. The only risk is really having the procedure. So what happens with most surgeries, once you're given a kidney, you can survive on one kidney. So
is there a time frame? Like, can you survive forever? Or?
No, so they basically say if it's a good kidney, you get 10 to 12 years and more. And now what the doctors will never tell you is best case scenario, just in case it's not.
Is that for you? Is that 10 to 12 years for you?
Yes.
Now that you had the transplant. And what about your mom, who's now?
She's 100%.
She's good forever.
They actually say once your body's recovered from the transplant, it's 100%. Which is why one of my callings is also to get people to want to not only donate, but that South Africans don't have the thing where they automatically a donor. They have to say, I want to be a donor. With lots of countries, you're automatically a donor, so it's much easier there. Anyone that wants to get involved with being a donor once you pass away, I'll send the link with Craig and you guys can find out more. But there's so many guys on dialysis that are waiting for a kidney. So there's guys waiting 15 to 20 years. So to be
and then how does that work? You have to find someone with a perfect match?
Yeah, so it's a DNA match and a blood match. So they do the cross-referencing and see, but there is a waiting list. So there's those that are waiting for a kidney. The minute one becomes available, let's say that someone has a car accident, they can take their kidney and it can actually save a life. So, I actually think it's quite a cool thing to be able to literally donate, that when you pass away, you're literally saving about 5 lives.
Sure.
You can donate your kidney, your liver, your heart. So it really helps people,
That's incredible. That's incredible. I think we need more people like that in the world.
Yeah.
But I mean, really what I want to get into today, because of the fact that you're inspiring and you're motivating so many people, is how tough was it recovering from this transplant? What did you go through? What was it like mentally? I mean, you were stuck in bed for, was it 14 weeks?
Yeah.
You were by yourself in isolation. Everyone's moaning about being in isolation because of COVID, but you were now dealing with a transplant and making sure your body actually accepts it. And you didn't know if that was going to happen.
There's that 10% of me that has this fear that you're gonna get a kidney rejection and that type of thing. But the honest truth is, it's actually kept me on path where every morning I'm just so grateful for what I have. My family, what they've done for me, that it kind of just vibrates into everything else in my life. So I'm actually nearly the happiest I've ever been.
Really?
Even though I'm dealing with my legs.
Going through a tough time, and is that because you're just so grateful now compared to
incredibly grateful?
Before all this happened?
If I see guys complaining on Facebook, guys and girls out there that are complaining on Facebook, it is one of the worst things for your actual brand and your name. I mean, why would you want to complain and moan? But secondly, it's just there's been so much of that. Why don't we actually just look for the best in situations and maybe improve the world instead of complaining? Use that energy to improve the world,
But then, okay, so you had this transplant, you had to recover by yourself, and now you almost want to integrate back into real life. So it's going back to work, seeing friends, seeing family, and living life again. What was that like? How did you deal with that?
Well, the biggest thing was also having the Guillain-Barré, which was something that affected my legs, which I started getting in dialysis. So it's an autoimmune disease that first attacks from your toes and it starts going up your legs. So that's something that I've had to also deal with. But the honest truth is, as I was out of isolation and able to work again, I just felt so grateful to be able to not only help others, but do have purpose. So it's kind of made me get stronger and stronger every week. I'm only looking for 1% recovery every week. I'm just so grateful.
Small gains.
Small gains every week. And it's just so lucky to be able to work with people and do things like this. It's something that I couldn't do for a very long time.
Very long time. You obviously had the support of your mom. You had your dog. I mean, man's best friend was there to help you through these tough times. And have you had a lot of support from people that know you?
It's been amazing, especially the support on social media. People that have just been following my journey. So my goal has been to share my story on social media, even the tough times, because I realize that everyone's going through their tough times, and I just want to be able to share my story and inspire others. I've had so many people that have connected with me that have had cancer, that have gone through kidney transplants, gone through Guillain-Barré. So I've kind of hit a network of people that really need help. So it's been awesome.
Sure. That is incredible.
So we're going to do two things. We're going to go out like a duck, keeping your feet wide, and then you're going to go too close.
Okay.
Keeping them both pointed. So when you're going wide, it hits more your inner thigh, and when you keep your feet close, it hits more your outer thigh. Craig Yeats in the zone.
Boom.
Can you handle it? No, you can't.
Obviously, I mean, you training guys as a personal trainer. Are you yourself back in the gym and exercising?
Yes, so I basically make sure I have my session in the morning. The medication that I have to take every morning at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. is anti-rejection medication for my kidney, blood pressure medication, and an antiviral. I've got to do that 8 a.m. in the morning and 8 p.m. in the evening.
Every day?
I tend to train half an hour after that. So in the morning, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I do my session every morning. I like the structure of having my clients and then also having my own training, my kind of time out for the day. And to focus on my rehab for my legs and also to build my upper body strength.
To get big again?
Not to get big again, but to be functional and fit and healthy.
And look good. A bit of everything.
Okay.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. My voice to say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm.
How do you feel? That's those extra 2 reps that count.
That's where you build that muscle, eh?
And you see, I can support you, so there's always someone there to kind of be like, you know what, not only push it and don't quit,
Yeah.
it's just that extra motivation, you know?
Okay, let's go grab some coffee.
I'll be here in no time, put a candle on it.
So Gordon, the last time you were on Coffee with Craig, you were drinking coffee,
Yeah.
but you don't drink coffee anymore.
So part of being on having a kidney transplant is I can't have too many stimulants. So coffee is unfortunately not allowed anymore, so I've got to stick to H2O.
So some water.
I sometimes add lemon juice to that, and that's kind of
the spice of life.
my
for you.
elixir for the day.
All right.
But tell me more, because I always see you having coffee with Craig. You know, are there any brands that you sponsor or anything like that? Are you sponsored by anyone? What's the story?
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it was an interesting thing. So I wrote a post just a little while ago. So I've been working at Enriching Life now for 14 years. I started on the 1st of October 2007.
Amazing.
And what I didn't realize was the 1st of October is International Coffee Day. So I started working at Enriching Life on International Coffee Day. And as time went on and coffee became more popular, I started a coffee shop called Alf's Cafe.
Awesome.
And it kind of just all transitioned into, it sounded good, Coffee with Craig, just kind of made sense. So started interviewing guys like yourself that wants to share inspirational, motivational message.
Very cool.
As well as going and tasting coffees, because I mean, there's so many cool little coffee spots in Cape Town and most people don't know about it. I mean, you come to this amazing gym and there's coffee, there's Truth Coffee here. So after a hectic workout, you can go and drink some coffee, which is incredible. And it's all those little value adds in a gym or a business that makes you want to come back, not just to gym, but go and drink coffee after your exercise, which is incredible.
So true.
But another thing, you spoke about those 2 extra reps, having a coach pushing you 2 extra reps. How are you going to help me get more subscribers on YouTube?
Well, okay, well, you don't want to hear this advice, but I got my biggest following by basically doing crazy boom videos. And I found that was when I had a few haters that I was actually doing the right thing. So I wouldn't say go search for your haters, but I would say just basically give yourself 1000%. So if you're doing something and you think, hold on, this is a little bit silly, stick with it.
Just do
that's
it,
the type of thing that's going to help you build your own brand and your unique perspective on things. No one wants to see someone that's just kind of winging it and just going with it. They want to see someone that's speaking their truth and speaking from their heart. So I'll just say keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Hopefully you guys are going to hit that subscribe button and we're going to grow to 1,000 subscribers very, very soon. So if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with a friend, and enjoy my guests, because my guests have such amazing stories like Gordon Stevens. So thank you for joining us once again. An incredible story. You've been through so much and it's so amazing how you are going out and inspiring people. So thank you.
What he's doing is basically from the heart. So I can totally relate. And you know, guys, like they say, drop a pebble in the ocean and it's basically going to send ripples. What you're doing is awesome, especially through this time. So thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Cheers, Gordon.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Till next week. We're out of here.